Everyone's looking for a quick fix, a magic weight loss pill, the latest easy way to lose an insane amount of weight in a record amount of time. But that means that you're looking for something outside of yourself to create the inside change that you want. What if I told you that you are the weight loss pill? Yep, I thought about that on today's morning run. What if the real solution isn't out there, isn't here, is right here? So in this video, we'll be talking about mindset, beliefs, placebo effects, how to transform your identity as always, and how the internal decisions that you make about yourself and your weight loss journey will create the outside change, aka on your body, that you want or not. I'll also be referring to one of my favorite books, which is You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's a great book. I recommend about everyone to read it, and any book that he ever has written for that matter. First, of course, let's talk about the damage of looking for a shortcut. You think that the latest quick fix, the latest fad diet is going to save you time, when in fact it is going to steal it. Because every time you chase a fast result, you delay the real transformation. What I mean by that is you will gain the weight back. Easy as that. Because when you think, oh, I'm gonna do this for like 8-12 weeks and then I'm gonna go back to my old lifestyle, as I keep telling you, there is no old lifestyle to go back to, because you are a reflection of your habit. Your body is a reflection of your habit. Therefore, if you think that you can do something for 8 weeks and then go back to an old lifestyle and not have that old lifestyle reflect again on your body, therefore gaining the weight back, you're very wrong, my dear. That explains the yo-yo diet that you've been going through. That may also have lowered your metabolism, making weight loss harder and harder every single time. Extreme restriction from eating 1 meal a day to no carbs or whatever will lead to binge eating. And trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I hate all those fat burners and juices and cleansers and detox and fat. I hate all of this stuff because it is bullshit. It's not teaching you sustainable habits. And again, if it's not the habits and the identity that change, you will get back to your old body the moment you get back to your old lifestyle. Because you've run out of money and can't buy the latest detox juices anymore. Plus, even worse than that, it will actually build a specific identity, because you'll keep thinking, I fail every single time, I've tried everything and nothing works because I gained the weight back. No shit, you've done some unsustainable stuff that lead to restriction, maybe made you binge, and that's a whole other story. Of course you were gonna fail. Your body remembers what you do to it, and it does not respond to, well, positively to punishment. It's gonna rebel against it and ask for the food it needs. It also reinforces self-doubt because you can't stick to any plan because it's too restrictive. It also creates fear around food, thinking, oh my god, I can't eat carbs because that made me gain weight. Well, first of all, yes, it makes you gain water, because 1 gram of carb holds on to 1 gram of water. It's its job. It's not a bad thing. You should eat carbs because that's also energy for your body. And it pisses me off to see that people still think, and I mean, I'm just sorry for you, that still think that you should cut out carbs, you know, for the rest of your life. No, you can't cut out an entire macro for the sake of weight loss, because you're only going to lose that water weight, and as soon as you get back into eating carbs, because your body will crave it, duh, you will gain that water retention back instead of being in a healthy calorie deficit, so you lose fat and not just water weight. And yeah, so it also creates guilt around eating and anxiety. It will reinforce the idea that your body is the enemy and you have to work against it instead of with it. So that really does create a long-term trap when you lose 10 pounds and gain 15, and that will just reinforce the binge restrict, by the way, because you'll think that you have to restrict even more to lose the weight, and that makes you waste so much time cycling through the dieting and then binging instead of building something that actually lasts, because you would have created healthy habits when it comes to food, when it comes to movement, so you don't gain the weight back. So basically, what I want you to remember from this tangent, which is not a tangent, this one I planned, the more shortcuts you take, the longer it's going to take you to actually see a real transformation. And a tough thing that I want you to imagine is, where would you be if a year ago you decided, you know what, let me take the slow route, sustainable route, and instead of trying to lose 10 pounds in a week, I try to do it in, 30 days, which is something that I've done. And I take it, which is already fast. It's already fast. And I just build habits and consistency so I don't lose those habits and don't gain the weight, where would you be right now, right before summer, if a year ago or whenever you started your first quick fix, you actually had decided, you know what, let me try it the sustainable way, because it seems to be working. It's slower, but it's better slower. Okay, let's move on to the placebo and a little bit more into like what's going on in the brain. I want to get back to the Joe Dispenza book, okay? And I'm so excited for this because hopefully it's going to shift your mindset. It basically explores, that book, how your mind influences your reality, especially when it comes to sickness. So we're gonna relate that to, you know, weight loss, just because obesity is a sickness itself. So that's why I think the parallel works here. The core thoughts and thesis of that book is that your beliefs and the identity that you're attached to aren't just a product of your environment and your genetics, but can actually be the cause of real changes. So let me give you a wild example to illustrate what I'm saying as best as I can remember. Basically, there was this guy who, I think he was in the 1950s or 60s, I might be wrong, but basically this guy had like some sort of cancer and he was really, really sick, right? And he heard of that newest medication that was supposedly going to cure him. So he begged the doctors to, it was still in trial, so they were still not sure, right? But he begged the doctor, please give it to me, please give it to me. I really, like, I want to heal, right? So the doctors gave the specific medication to that one man and he got cured. He got better and he felt better. The cancer size shrunk dramatically and the doctors couldn't believe it because wow. And it really felt like a miracle. I think it was a really quick turnover, like a couple weeks. He was just like from like terminal to I'm living my best life. After a while, the news actually broke that that medication didn't work in the longer trial, right? Because it was still in that phase. Like, he actually learned, that man, that it had no effect. Do you know what happened? He got sick again. After having a miracle recovery, because this is literally what happened, he got sick again when he learned that it wasn't working. The beliefs just got shattered and he just got really sick again. So the doctors were like, let's try something. So one doctor just came to him and was like, okay, this is actually the better version and we've actually found a way to make this specific medication work. So this is like 2.0 and it's gonna cure you again. So they gave him that better version. The guy takes it. He believed that it was going to heal him again and more effective than the one before. So the cancer shrinks again. He is living his best life again, very quick turnover. It was salt water that he got injected. Yeah, it was not actually a pill, it was a... Later down the road, I think he saw like in a medical journal that the medication that he supposedly had taken was absolutely completely ineffective and he got so sick. It was like much later, okay? He got so sick he like died within a few weeks. I'm hoping I'm able to transcribe the story. So that man got a medication that did not work, healed regardless. Then when he learned once and then a second time that it didn't work, he got worse. Do you get my point here? Does it get across how insane that is and how insane the power of your mind is? It wasn't the treatment that saved him or not. It was the belief that he was treated and cured and that the thing that he was taking, even if it was salt water, actually cured him. It was the belief that it was going to work that made it work. And then the moment he doubted it, the moment he realized, oh, that was like, this medication is not working, that ended everything and he got sick and died. So if belief alone can shrink tumors, don't tell me that it cannot do anything about fat loss. So what you need is not another plan, is not the latest pill, diet, cream. It's just to believe in yourself that you can actually change. Because if you... I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting too excited, guys. If you think that you are not going to follow through, that at some point you're going to binge or at some point you're going to like give up on your workouts or on the journey altogether, do you really think that you are actually going to show up? No. If you think that you're going to fail, of course, the self-fulfilling prophecy, you are going to fail. It's normal. If you think that you're going to fail, your brain is not going to try to convince you otherwise, especially when weight loss is really such an uncomfortable process. So if your body can respond to a sugar pill and cure cancer, I think that it can respond to the belief of, no, you know what, I'm someone who's fit, I can lose weight, I'll do this. Let me break down a little bit more the placebo effect in itself, even though I've given you examples and we've talked about this, right? But basically it's when a person goes through a significant improvement in terms of health or symptoms, even though they were given something that had no effect whatsoever. And why does it work? Because the brain believes it's real. That is it. It's insane. Here's what happens. The mind creates the expectation. It really thinks, oh, this pill, this injection, whatever, is gonna help. And that triggers brain chemistry, like dopamine and endorphins or immune boosters in that case, like in the cancer guy case, as if the treatment was real. And therefore, since it got the hormones that were necessary for the healing process, you heal. And like, it's all from believing. It's insane. So here is how this all applies to weight loss, because you need a little bit more practical stuff. Think about it this way. Once you believe that you can and you will and you are losing weight, you will show up in that way. You will move with more intention. You will feed yourself with more intention. It will be easier to follow the plan, and even when it gets uncomfortable, and you will stop self-sabotaging with the self-doubt and binging and all of that. So it's not magic. This is neurobiology. This is how it works. You believe it works, the brain believes it works, so it's going to trigger the chemicals that you need to actually get to your goals. The moment you decide that you're changing and you believe it, you're going to show up as such, and therefore you will change. That belief that you've changed and you can do it, that is the pill. You are the placebo. How is that? I'm so thirsty, but I've already... Okay. I've kept saying for a while now that I do believe that the weight loss pill, the magic weight loss pill, is in the brain. And I keep looking for ways to prove it to you guys so you can finally become your best self and lose the weight and feel confident, because everyone deserves to. And that's literally why I'm going back to uni for a psychology and neuroscience degree, like bachelor and then master's and then PhD, because I need to find like the automatic way for you to I need to find a way to flip the switch and to make you believe and to find that weight loss pill in the brain. So that's why I'm doing that. Hence why the latest content has been very psychology, related, just because I'm studying a lot of that right now. The key message, until I actually find that, is that the moment you truly decide that you have changed, that you are going to lose the weight, you are done with whatever happened before, that's when it happens. So you don't lack discipline. What you lack is the belief that you can create the change. When you believe that you're the one who is in control and who can change, you will start acting like it and you will create the change that you want to see. So let's talk about how to shift your mindset for success, because obviously I have some practical tips for you. The first thing I want you to do is every night when you go to bed, I want you to visualize tomorrow everything you're gonna do, but how your future fit self would do it. So you visualize, well, she's gonna wake up and then she's gonna drink water, and then she's gonna have a quick breakfast and go for a run or go to the gym, and then she's gonna do this and do that, and like it should be still a very, very, very close to what your actual day would be, but with the lens of what my fit self would do. This literally primes the brain, and I've made a video about it, about visualization. This literally primes the brain to do those things, because it will feel, the more you do it, even in the brain, it will feel more and more familiar, therefore it will be easier and easier to do it, and then the next day you're more likely to show up as her. Second thing, affirmations, even though I'm not a huge fan, can help rewire your brain. It's just like the starting point, right? You can start saying things like, I don't need to wait for motivation, I've decided, I'm changing now, I've changed, I'm a different person, I'm a fit person, like let's do this. I'm a runner, as I keep saying, I'm a runner. You should write it down on your phone, all the affirmations of the new identity. Okay, so that means that at the end of the day, you finish with that visualization of the new person, and then when you wake up, the first thing I want you to do is take your phone, and it should be the first app that you, like when you open your phone, the first app that you see should be the affirmations, and therefore that's literally the first thing you see. That again primes your brain, because you're still, in theta, alpha brain waves, therefore you're more suggestible to the affirmations. When you combine both, it gets like powerful and gets the ball rolling. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell you to just wish upon the stars and it's going to happen. You also need to back it up with action. As always, your brain doesn't need perfection, but it needs repetition and proofs. It needs proofs that you are actually the person that you're saying that you are, and you have actually changed. This is where you really need to start with the easiest stuff, and don't go, well, this is not actually a big deal. Even if it's just drinking, that's why I'm saying visualize, by the way, because when you visualize yourself, drinking the water, it's a small action, but it's already a step towards, the new version of you. It's already a proof that you are becoming her. So pick small actions, even if it's like going for a walk at noon or picking a healthier lunch. You don't necessarily become her, become that new version all at once. You practice being her and you do it by steps. As I always say, please do it by steps. Tip number 4, expect resistance. You're gonna fuck up, it's gonna rain, you will not run as good as you think you would run, or you know, won't have time to lift as much, or you will be hungrier and you will eat something that wasn't part of the plan. Whatever happens, stuff are going to happen. You have to realize that it's not going to be perfect. But think about it. The first thought once you fuck up is, oh my god, I'm a failure. I actually haven't changed, whatever. This self-doubt, this is your old self that is trying to trick you into staying your old self. It doesn't want to be left behind, obviously, therefore it's going to try. As soon as something isn't part of the plan, and it will never go exactly the way you want it to go, you will fuck up. Just please. And the self-doubt is your old self trying to keep you stuck. I'm sorry, I've talked so much, I'm losing my voice from the courses to all the content. Oh my god. So she will try to make you down. But the thing is, you have to realize that you are on that very shaky, uncomfortable bridge, right? Well, on one hand, you have your old self that you're moving away from, but you're not yet fully the new version of you. So you're really into, because you're still practicing being her, so you are really doing all the steps towards your new self. But that means that you are in between two identities and it's a bit wobbly, okay? It's fine. That is part of the process, and you are in between that letting go part and that becoming her part, and it's okay. It's okay. Once you realize that you really are in between two identities, it gets easier to manage and to actually keep walking the path. Let's talk environment design for a second, because that also will play a huge role. And one of the best tips I can give you is to have a reward system that will both reward the input and create an environment that will resonate with your new self. That means that whenever you do something that you said you would do, have on your phone a notes app that is called like the reward jar or something. Every day that you are in your deficit, that you do your workout or whatever, you add however amount of money, like let's say €1 per day, or like €1 per action, however much you can, okay? That jar will grow, and at some point you will be able to buy yourself stuff that your new self would have. So have a list of the things your new self would have, whether it's running gears or specific type of food or supplements or whatever, or bedding, whatever, clothes, whatever. That means that you get to do both at the same time. You get to, you know, encourage yourself and sensitize, make you want to do the hard things, and at the same time you are also changing your environment. Two things, amazing. Ooh, I'm hungry. Well, it's noon, so let's finish that and then eat. Remove the triggers that would trigger you into your past self. You also want to trigger what would be your new self. So for example, as I keep saying, if you want to become a runner, have your running shoes out so you see it. It's just about changing your environment so it fits more the new version of you rather than the old one. So removing stuff, adding stuff. You want to set your space like somebody who already has what you want. And lastly, make the decision right now. Like literally comment it down below. I'm already her. I've changed. I've become her. I've changed. That's the other version. She's in the past. I'm in between maybe, but I've changed. It's done. I'm gonna stick to the plan this time. I'm done with whatever used to be me. Now I've changed. Literally make the decision. I've changed. Intentionally go in your brain, flip the switch. I've changed. It's done. It's done. It's done. I can stick to the plan this time. I am sticking to the plan. When you believe you can do it, when you believe you can show up as her, you are going to show up as her. You're just gonna say, fuck the weak, version of me. This is not me. This isn't me anymore. It's just, I've changed. I've changed. I've changed. Okay, so some actionable steps right now. Today, you are going to do your affirmation things on your phone, okay? And tonight, have a reminder, like 10 minutes before you're supposed to go to bed, or whenever you let go of your phone, to do the visualization exercise and visualize yourself moving tomorrow through the day as if you were already the new fit, healthy version of you. This week, choose one habit, easy habit that you can stick to that aligns with the version of you who is on the other side of the bridge that you want to get to. Just one, and track it, and every time you actually do the habit, it should be like create a reward system on your phone as well. So 2 notes on your phone, the affirmation and the jar. You know, the reward jar that I was talking about. And 3, track identity-based wins. Not just, oh, the scale went down. No. Oh, I've been consistent with that. I've had my glass of water every single day. I showed up. I say no to a craving. I created a new boundary. I actually did go for that run. And literally write it down. I am the weight loss pill. Honestly, write that down in your affirmation. I am the weight loss pill. I need to stop looking around outside of me for a magic thing. I am the magic thing. Okay. You don't need a shortcut. You don't need permission. You don't need the latest trend. You are the magic weight loss pill. You literally, it's in your brain. It's in your brain. The moment you make the decision that this is your identity, you are someone who's lost the weight, who's fit and all that, you will. Your belief, your commitment and your actions, that's what will create the change. And if you need a little bit of help, just book a free call with me down below. I've helped so many women change. I've changed myself, transformed my body, my belief, my mindset, everything. So if we all can do it, why not you? That was pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.